It processes at 11 million bits per second. It's got trillions of neural pathways, trillions of connections, I should say. And it makes sense, and it's the database. That has the database of our entire life. So I understand why people want to put it above. Plus, it's kept you alive, right? Because that's what its purpose is, to keep you alive long enough to procreate. So it's very focused on identifying and looking out for risks, which can be problematic if you're doing things that have to do with some risk. When you understand that there's a difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious, and you can discern the difference between the two, then you're on your way to being able to reset the subconscious. And there's a process of doing that. The short version is that we think about it as stimulus response. But what I do is I break it into 7 parts. And it's not just stimulus response. There's a space, a very, very small space between stimulus and reaction. So the subconscious, I've mentioned already, it processes 11 million bits per second. It has a reaction time of about a quarter of a second, so 250 milliseconds, but we can train it to get to closer to 100 milliseconds, 150 milliseconds or so, like for athletes. But if you're real stressed out or you're highly triggerable, that thing is reaction time is happening in like 1/10 of a second, barely over 1/10 of a second. 150 milliseconds is what athletes can get it to, so you can imagine being highly stressed. You're there at 150 milliseconds or lower. It's 150 milliseconds or lower. So that's quick. So what we do is most change has to occur at the habit level.